February 24, 2026, in a news conference, President Sheinbaum confirmed that her government is actively reviewing whether to pursue legal action against Elon Musk. This comes after Musk made high-profile statements on his social media platform X, claiming, without public evidence, that President Sheinbaum was acting at the direction of drug cartels. President Sheinbaum described those claims as unfounded and absurd, and said her legal team was examining how to respond under Mexican law. The controversy began when Musk, responding to a video about President Sheinbaum's stance on national security policy, wrote that she was just saying what her cartel bosses tell her to say. He added a sarcastic comment about punishment for disobedience, suggesting her management was not independent. These remarks were posted in the context of heightened tensions following a major security operation in Mexico. That operation, carried out by Mexican security forces on February 22, led to the death of Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, alias El Mencho, the leader of the cartel Jalisco Nueva Generación, one of the country's most powerful criminal organizations. The operation and its aftermath triggered outbreaks of violence in several parts of the country, including blockades and attacks on infrastructure, as cartel members reacted to the loss of their leader. President Sheinbaum has consistently defended her administration's record on security and governance. During the press conference where she discussed the possibility of legal action, she stressed that what matters most to her is public opinion in Mexico and the work her government and the armed forces are doing to protect citizens and uphold the law. She dismissed Musk's claims as baseless and said they were not reflective of reality. Mexican outlets report that Sheinbaum's legal advisors are closely evaluating Musk's statements to determine whether they could constitute defamation or other legal violations under Mexican statutes. No formal lawsuit has been filed yet, and details about possible charges or the timing of any action remain unclear. The president's comments and the government's review reflect a careful approach to how public figures can be held accountable for statements made on global digital platforms. Political reactions to this situation have been mixed. Supporters of Sheinbaum and her political party, Morena, have condemned Musk's comments as reckless and harmful, while critics argue that the government may be overreaching or attempting to suppress criticism. Legal experts and civil liberties advocates are paying close attention, noting that this case touches on broader debates about free speech, digital responsibility, and the power of social media platforms in shaping political narratives. Internationally, the situation has drawn interest because Musk is not only a high-profile entrepreneur, but also a polarizing figure in global public discourse. His companies, including Tesla and X, have significant influence, and his statements often spark intense reactions across political spectrums. This clash highlights how remarks made on social media by influential individuals can ripple into diplomatic and legal arenas, especially when they involve heads of state and issues as sensitive as government integrity and organized crime. In Mexico, where violence linked to organized crime has deeply affected many communities and families, accusations about collusion between government and criminal groups are taken seriously. Sheinbaum has repeatedly rejected the notion of a narco-government and emphasized that her strategy toward criminal networks prioritizes law, governance, and the protection of human rights over all-out militarized conflict. As of today, the situation remains fluid. Sheinbaum's legal team continues its review, and no definitive court action has been announced. Musk has not issued a public response since the initial statements that triggered this controversy. Observers in Mexico and abroad are watching closely to see whether this dispute leads to a formal filing, how it could affect free speech norms, and what it might mean for political discourse between nations when digital platforms and global personalities are involved. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you being part of this community. What are your thoughts on this case and the broader issues it raises about free speech, power, and accountability? Share your perspective in the comments. If you found this report helpful, like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss an update.